Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.
Guys, it's Professor Presbury. Welcome back to another episode of Hey Professor, the show where we talk about everything you want to know about allied health, healthcare administration, and health information management. I'm Professor Presbury, and if you're wondering why my collar is popped, no particular reason at all. I'm just felt like being weird today, right? So one of the questions that my students asked me in today's episode is going to be about, is it important to put in your 2 weeks notice? Is that something that really matters? Yes. Thanks for joining us, guys. That was the episode. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Then that's it in a nutshell, and I'll see you next time. I'm kidding. But to circle back, yes, it really does matter. Like I said, one of my students did ask me, and I kind of went over. I was like, yeah, you know what? It really does matter. I think a lot of people nowadays, they hear about all these fancy new ways of quitting, and they're like, oh, we're going to quit this way, quit that way, and I just won't come back, or I won't put in my notice. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you right now, don't burn any bridges if you can help it. Sometimes you really can't help it, and people are going to be upset that you're leaving, and that I understand. But don't burn bridges if you can help it. Particular to my field, health information management, the truth is the field is very, very small. I have seldom worked places where people didn't know me or my previous work, or even family members, that had been in the industry and are in the industry now. For instance, my father's a medical coder. A lot of people where I used to live know my father. I had worked at a bunch of different places, and there was literally nowhere I worked that they didn't know my dad. Well, that's a different story, right? So, you're going to want to put in your 2 weeks notice, depending on what level you are. If you were just a regular worker, 2 weeks is fine. If you're like somewhere like management, somewhere between 3 weeks and 6 weeks. And I'm serious, because you have to understand, the position that you hold as a leader is different. So it's going to take them longer to fill that position. You're going to want to allow them to really finish up and wrap up any projects, and also you're going to want to do a transfer of knowledge. I know a lot of people glamorize just leaving, but the truth is you never know what the future holds, right? It may not necessarily be that you even go back and work for that same company. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you leave as a clerk and you come back as a director or as a VP. That has happened to people. I've seen it happen, right? But more likely than not, it's the people. It's the people that you're going to know in these other places. It's very likely that you may leave somewhere as a clerk, and you may come back, you may try to apply, and the person that's now the hiring manager, the person that's in charge of that, is somebody who you used to know. Someone who you used to know or you used to work with when you were at the organization prior. That's far more and more likely. That's why I tell students, I tell my staff all the time, don't burn bridges. If you got to put in your notice, put in your notice, leave on a good note. Do not put in your notice and then take vacation. Do not put in your notice and then call out, because you are essentially snubbing them. And believe me, people have short memories, so they can really remember you and be like, oh yeah, that's that guy that did this, and it kind of rubs you the wrong way. You're going to want to make sure that you have really good, clean references and places that you can say that you work. Because even when you do something, when you snub somebody, you just leave, you never know. So always make sure that you leave on good terms, guys. It's just that simple. It does matter. If it's a situation where you really can't help it, like let's say like an organization needed you to start sooner rather than later, that's fine. And you can kind of explain to your exiting organization, listen, I really appreciate the opportunity, the time I've had here, though I'm going to leave on this note, I'm going to leave a week because they need me to start sooner. If you can explain it, a lot of them understand, as long as they're not being snubbed. That's different. When people are snubbed, they get upset. All right, guys, this was a relatively short one. They don't all have to be 12 minutes, right? I mean, we can talk about short stuff. Again, this is Professor Presbury. I enjoy you. I appreciate you. I like you. Please subscribe. Please share. Have a good one, guys. What was with that outro, right? That was weird. Like, that was like mad random. I was like, I like you. Please come back. Like, what am I talking about, right? Anyway, all right, have a good one, guys. Bye.
Intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character. That is the true goal of education.